toxic.
Every time. He does this every day, man.
Why are you embedding him? Just keep embedding
I don't
him,
know,
Like,
bro. Man.
let's go. One more to go.
Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Season 12, Week 14. My name's NightFiree with 2 E's, and today we will be tuning into a middle-of-the-pack matchup. 2 pretty high-skilled teams, I should say maybe a bit higher up in the pack. Gold and Diamond battling it out here this afternoon with Astra and VR Loyal Dogs. Diamond being Astra, Loyal Dogs, Gold, ranked 12th and 14th respectfully. And looking at the overall worldwide rank, Loyal Dogs are 42 and Astra is 45 worldwide. So I guess that's why I say middle of the pack, but in reality, these teams have certainly climbed up pretty high in the ladder. That is not middle of the pack, that's top end of the ladder. There's hundreds of teams in the league now, and so to be even up into the top 40 is an achievement, in my opinion. And we really do see a very high skill level in the top 40 in general. So today is going to be some good quality Onward. I mean, we tuned into a matchup yesterday where, again, we were in that 30 the overall worldwide ranking, and it was a fantastic match, worth taking notes on in some cases where the plays were executed so nicely. Great defensive setups. You could really... a lot of fun to watch. I anticipate this matchup to be the same, and we are populating the lobby, so I do want to get into our pick bans for the day so we can be ready to dive into round 1 as soon as it starts. Astra banning Bazaar, Loyal Dogs banning Cargo. Get rid of a couple of maps that are close range, leaves us with a bit of an open playing field. Cargo being Astra's best map, 4-4 this season so far, undefeated on it, so Loyal Dogs wanting to ban that out. And Bazaar being Loyal Dogs' best map, 5-5. So bands of strength, or weak, yeah, bands of strength on both sides, because you're banning the strength of your opponent. And those are some impressive numbers to be had. I mean, especially to be this high in the ladder, to be undefeated on a map in itself is impressive, and it's a dangerous win rate, to say the least. Our first map of the day is chosen by Astra, as they are the home team. It is going to be Suburbia. Suburbia 5-1 for Loyal Dogs. Certainly not their best map. A 33% round win rate. In comparison, Astra, I don't even think have played it. Oh, they played it twice. 2-1. So they're kind of, it's a bit of a gamble picking into the weakness of Loyal Dogs here. I still think it's kind of a toss-up for map 1 in terms of who could come out on top of this, but our first objective does take us back into the bulk spawn, so it could be a potentially slow and patient rollout here for our first round, but At the same time, who knows what we're going to get with both of these squads on this map. The percentages certainly aren't giving me any idea what to expect, which is exciting. Again, I think it means we're in for a pretty good back and forth. We have a full lobby, and we are ready to dive into round one, so let's take a look at the active rosters for today. Over on Astra, we have Tea Party, Leo, Moth Valley, Special Ops, and Cody Logan. And over on Loyal Dogs, we have Gauko, Hakain, I'm Donnie, Gary, and Oxers. All the usual suspects for both of these squads. Doing a little bit of a deeper dive into the origins of both of the teams. Loyal Dogs, created in Season 8. I think they've had a relatively stable roster since their inception. Jolk being a new addition this season, but we're not seeing them here in this first round. Oxers joining in Season 10, as did Hakain. So they did have a little bit of a roster shakeup in Season 10. I would say then, for the most part, this team has been playing for at least 2 to 4 seasons. Gives them a solid bit of foundation to work on, and they've been trying to work their way up the ladder to get up into the top 20 for a while now. It can be a challenge. We've seen really good teams up there in the top. I mean, the skill, there's a constant space to grow as a player in this game, which I think is why it's so fun to play, and why so many people come back playing it again and again, because it always feels like you can get better. Astra joining in Season 11, with T being involved in the VRML since Season 10. It's a little bit more of a fresh perspective coming in from Astra, as they technically go up against a senior squad, and one that is just a touch higher in rank, as we get into round number 1 of map 1. Little pre-fire coming in. I think Gary got tagged with a heal and are able to cross over to burning building. Standard pre-fire up through the center lanes there to try and deter any defensive rollout. Try maybe get an easy pick, but almost works, not quite. Meanwhile, as the middle works their way up here, Tea Party taking control of the backyard. Special Ops getting right behind burning building. Curious if they hear Gary or not, but Utility is coming around the corners. This corner is certainly risky to peek, as there's several different angles that can be taken from the 2-story, but it doesn't seem like actually Loyal Dogs are set up in that back 2-story. And as that suppressive fire comes out, Tea Party considers working their way in. And a C4 detonation is a bit too early, it seems, and Tea Party comes up to the top of the stairs, surprising Hakain. Did not hear the footsteps under the suppressive fire, and another goes down as Gary is suddenly the last alive on defense. They fly blind one. Special Ops is there, and they connect. Almost a double kill, and Gary mounting the comeback, but round 1 ends with Astra up with 3 alive and taking their Marsoc round. Solid start for their map pick. Chaotic at that as well. Interesting setup there again from Loyal Dogs. They really weren't utilizing the 2-story building. Oftentimes there's at least 1 or sometimes even 2 invested inside this building for a defense, because you just have some good angles down into where ultimately Astra did end up pushing from. And so I think, and you know, I think they lost middle house because off of that C4 detonation, I think maybe Hakain felt that they had killed 1 down there, and they were not expecting another to come sprinting up behind them just like that and be shooting them in the back. So on the other side, a really good bit of coordination from Astra. Very well, very synced up very well. And I mean, that is one of the major challenges sort of improving as a team, is getting your whole team to be on the same timing. And, you know, we saw really good timing actually yesterday as well. I have to remember. I have to go back and remember what they. I can't. Y'all test to me. Put it together. It was Legionnaires and 5 MOA. And what a great game that was. So fun to tune into and watch teams that I had otherwise not spectated all season duke it out. And, you know, those squads are, again, I think ranked 35 and 30. And I saw really nice coordinated timing coming in there that I think could easily challenge the likes of a top team. Even up into the top 10 potentially. You know, like the plays orchestrated looked good. Astra were nicely synced up there on their push, but I think they were given a lot of ground at the same time. And so they certainly took what they were given and worked nicely together as a team to secure that round one. We do have a brief technical reset here as we hopefully get one back in from the Loyal Dogs side. And while we have a bit of a pause, shout outs to everyone tuning in. Do appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out this fine Sunday afternoon. If you are a fan, be sure to go out and support the social media. It helps a lot if you can like and retweet the Onward_VRML Twitter. I also have a Twitter at the NightFiree. If you want to follow me, you can always see basically a bunch of retweets and maybe an occasional post about whatever I'm doing. But mostly just stuff about VR Master League and Go Lives. So if you want to have more notifications, that's a good way to do it and never miss VRML action. We have a lot of esport action going on today. I think there's another game on VRML 3 by Identity Crisis, if they're still live. I'm not sure if they're still live. But we also have the Echo Arena. What is the official branding of tournament going on over there? It is the Master Teams in a basically single elimination tournament. I'm going to get the branding right. The Elite Cup is what it has been called. I would recommend go tuning into that, as you will see the best teams in Echo Arena battling it out for a chance at a small prize pool. A very sick, I mean, it's really, again, a lot of esports action going on this weekend in general, as we had games yesterday with that great game with Legionnaires, all the while to the Challenger Cup for Echo Arena going on, and so there has been a lot of VRML action to tune into. And yeah, go give the VR Master League channel some love if you haven't already. Go follow that channel. You can get a real good variety there. As we have, as Echo Arena's season is live now, we are hosting both Echo Arena and Onward on that twitch.tv/VR Master League channel. And so it's a great way to get a little bit of both. And, you know, we try and also make those streams more friendly to the unknown audience. So, I typically explain the game of Onward a little bit better over there, and a little bit more basic on the talking points around Onward. But still, ultimately great games get played out, and I would encourage you to go follow that channel and catch the action. I think we have Echo Arena live right now in Horizon venues. So if you do want to catch some action in venues, check that out. Where we usually do venues for Onward at this time, but it's just been this weekend that we are not. We will be back to our regular scheduled venues broadcasts Saturday at 6 and Sunday at 12 on twitch.tv/VR Master League next weekend. Have no fear. That'll be the final weekend of regular season, and then we get right into it. Challenger Cup postseason tournament, season 12. We're at the back half, and I'm super excited for that postseason. I'm bringing in a couple of new casters to try and help fill the old roster so we can get as many games as we can out to you fine folk. And I would encourage you to also support those people over on twitch.tv/onward_VRML3 and onward_VRML2. Follow all of it. Follow everything that I'm telling you to follow, and I know it's a lot of stuff, but I mean, hey, we're doing a lot of stuff. So follow it all, okay? Thank you. Oh, sorry, there's a game. Is there an Onward game? Oh no, I was just talking.
I got pulled out.
Round 2.
No, I'm not. That's not my noise gun. I am not a noise gun. Oh my god. Is that OJ?
Ooh, that's a nice nade. That's a nice nade, and it's gonna catch Gary. Only downs them. He hears the downed audio, but they can't get the confirm there. And if they push up too aggressive, it could cost their life. And we're hearing the enemy audio comes through the radio there. T does end up pushing up to find the kill, and it does end up costing them their life, but they do get it 1 for 1. Yeah, the rest of the Loyal Dogs work their way up now through the playground as Leo scoops up Oxers over there. Just watching them, but wanted to take a look over at the playground push as Donnie, Gauco, and now Gary are the trio left to try and work through 4 alive on Astra. Nobody up in that 2-story for Astra either.
Hay uno en escaleras de Casa Central.
And Loyal Dog's just looking for any rotation for now. Not going to find anything on the cross of the playground. Gary is actually rotating as well, trying to work around Leo. And Cody catches out Gauco, trying to push up through playground and rotate. Because Gary started to shift to this side. I think the call out was for the whole team to shift. And as they shift off a playground, Special Ops tries to get aggressive and push in towards Donnie. Oh, and the shots come in. Donnie goes down. And blind fire not from Leo, though.
Didn't get him. Get a 3 confirmed.
That was certainly shots towards Gary, though. Now Gary has to drop off. They do smoke out, though, and they can back off for now. Special Ops does have an angle from that slide and may have seen Gary on the rotation. But Gary is going to push off and shift over around to the other side here, over to the east. They may actually be able to find Special Ops if they're looking. They're not. They go by. Hard to sometimes not have tunnel vision in this. I mean, one of the major challenges is to avoid tunnel vision in this game, especially in VR as you have limited FOV. We see so much more in terms of lasers, obviously going through walls and everything, but just so much more in the field of view than they do. Important to remember that sometimes, but either way, Special Ops gets identified there, and now Gary doesn't take the shots, playing it quiet and a little too quiet. Special Ops able to recognize and fire back. Finds the kill, and Astra with 3 left alive again put up another point on the board. 2-0 now. And a solid bit of back and forth, but Astra still definitely doing good here. And with 3 left alive on both sides, those are 2 tough losses in a row there for VR Loyal Dogs. So we'll have to see if an objective shift helps them. You know, sometimes the objective placement, I mean, it vastly changes how you defend and how you attack. And so, especially with this objective, we could see a much more aggressive sort of defensive battle early on. You know, the Humvee OBJ here is not an easy one to really feel comfortable on securing. Their smokes can come in. You can get behind the Humvee. It's a bit of a chaotic objective, in my opinion, and it would be exciting to see how Astra assault this one. But Loyal Dogs definitely need to put up a solid defense here. They are down 2-0 on Astra's map pick. I suppose that's important to remember. This is Astra's map pick, and so even if Loyal Dogs do lose here, the worst case, they do then get to go into their map pick for map number 2. If we look at the stats, we can start kind of thinking about perspective. Subway. Not their most won, but their most played. Quarantine, their second most played. So one of those two is, I think, where we're headed for map number 2. But we're not even close to there yet. Well, we could be. Technically, we are a round away. If Astra can secure a cap, they will take map number 1, but I don't know if it's going to be that easy.
Quédate un poquito.
It's going to be an early line here from Moth. Does not connect with anyone out of spawn. Oxers and Gauko are able to work up, but they get there at the same time that this Astra offense is flying in. A lot of utility dispersed. Cody catches one up through the center. Tea Party finds another. Everyone down on objective except for Oxers, who pops up late. Snags one. Tea Party's still here. Gets rid of Oxers. Gary now the last Loyal Dog alive. And it seems that they've disconnected. Oh, no. Oh, no. A headset or connection issue gives enough time for Tea Party to push up to objective and cap. Oh, gee, that's the... it's the most unfortunate thing that could happen. That's it. Map 1's done. There is no redo. There is no, oh, well, we got... The unfortunate reality of of playing online is that when you have a tech issue like that or a disconnect, you cannot pause the game and reset. You can't reattribute points. It opens up precedent for all sorts of things, and that's a whole different discussion. But you have to. The rules are that you have to play through, disconnects and bugs like that. If you fell through the floor and died, too bad. That's a unfortunate bug that plagues you. And so it's. I don't think I've ever seen that where it's frozen and then they haven't disconnected. Oftentimes when you freeze like that, you froze for a few seconds and then you disconnect and drop out. And in which case it would have, I guess, technically been still 2 points. Because you can't suicide as the last player alive on defense. And I think that it would have counted as, I think it would have counted as 2 points. Because the final player would have technically killed themselves. So I guess, regardless of what had happened with the bug, if they had been frozen or disconnected, it was going to be 2 points. Just terrible that it happened regardless, and you hate to see it in a match when, well, things weren't really going too great there in that round for Loyal Dogs. They needed any help they could get, and they did not need a disconnect there. That is for sure. Either way, we move on to map 2. And that's the nature of the beast. Quarantine is the pick, as suspected, either that or Subway. And Astra on defense, as it is Loyal Dog's map pick. Waiting now for a 5th from Loyal Dogs, as obviously they have been having some issues with their 5th there. And it's almost in those, really the question is, is it worth to just play the 4v5? If that is a continuing trend for your 5th player. You're then not caught off guard that you're in a 4v5. You know, you can plan accordingly for it. It almost feels like a, you know, potentially better scenario. But, you know, I think the Little Dogs also have a deep roster. Digging into the stats here. Apologize for typing. But yeah, they do have 6. But not exactly that big of a reservist pool to dip into. Just Joel, if they can find them. Otherwise, hopefully they can figure out, I believe Gary was the one that disconnected there. And they can join back in soon enough for map number 2. Especially their map pick. They want to come in with 4 up or 5 up, feeling strong, and I imagine we are into a technical timeout at this point. If we haven't already used one for that earlier break after round 1, in which case I think they're only left with maybe 1 timeout left. Then you have to play 4v5s, and you know, the last thing that Little Dogs want is to have to do that. So we will wait and see. This is what we're doing, waiting for that 5th to pop into quarantine, and then we will be underway. Astra otherwise put together a great Marsoc round there. I mean, if you want to look back on Subway, you know, that attack was really, I mean, very aggressive. They came in with at least four utility nades out the gate. I think 2 smokes and 2 flashes. Then they added another 2 smokes over to the objective side as they pushed in. And, you know, ultimately a cap comes through while Gary is stuck. And, you know, I don't know if that was... I feel like that was going to happen maybe either way. You know, even if Gary had been alive, I think they were just about to check their tablet and realize they were the last one alive. And in that time, I think the cap could have come through. So, you know, when it really comes down to it, I don't know if Loyal Dogs were escaping 2 points there, no matter what. But, of course, that's just, you know, I'm just talking. There's no way of knowing, and at least it was a quick map 1. Little Dogs can now kind of reset. They did get Jolk, so the value of having a sub very present here. I talk about it sometimes, but when you have those extra 6, 7, and 8 in your roster, it's huge. And when you play them actively throughout the course of a season, mixing them into matches, whether you're winning or losing, it really builds out your team so that you can adapt and adjust to scenarios where maybe you're having connection issues or one player isn't playing as good as they hope. You can bring in another that's feeling good. You know, there's all kinds of options that you open yourself up to as a team. And so I'm sure Loyal Dogs are thankful now that they got Jolk on that roster this season, as they are 5 up and ready to go into round number 1 of map 1. Map 2. Thanks again for listening to my ramblings as well. It's all just about buying time and getting us into the action. Even then, it may be a little bit of time as they get that far northeast spawn. Oh, I say that, but the cross on the street gets caught out and Jolk goes down early. Not able to get across the south street there. Oftentimes utility needed to get there, but you know, it's you're gambling in that hopefully someone isn't watching as you cross, and Tea Party was watching indeed. Off of that kill, Tea Party then advances up into the hospital building here. A solid spot to be in as they can take control now from a second floor. And and really have a nice line down into the north. Interesting call out there that they're expecting that delay from Loyal Dogs, in that they won't really try and push until the last few moments of the round, but they are already up onto the north 2-story. They are looking for Tea Party. Tea Party isn't watching north, though. They're actually watching south from that stairwell. And so they're not going to be looking over to this side. And Loyal Dogs could be able to work all 4 over here. They'll eventually run into both Moth Valley and Special Ops, who can pop up over that ramp there, which they are doing from time to time, and take some shots, and there's the fight. Nobody connects.
And then they are rota.
Smoke coming out. Oh, and that gets a bad bounce. That is not what they were hoping for. That one also goes over the wall. Neither smoke's going to really deny vision here, but Oxers is able to make it out. That's the push down the west side deterred. Kind now thinking about looking for some picks up through the center. Not a bad idea. Galco trying to catch out the rotation here from Moth. A good spot to be in, truly. Cody not going to be pushing up just yet. Tea Party does come out and peeks up from that top story. The trade here between Galco and Moth leaves them with a 2v4 for Loyal Dogs. Donnie on the bottom floor and 1 over in the northeast. Oxer's still alive. Nice play there. Leo and Oxers both knew where each other were, but Leo has that sort of camouflage advantage in the darkness there. Peeks up, catches the kill, and now Donnie's alone in a 1v4. Trying to find the first kill they need, which is Leo, who is doing some recon there by going up the stairs and jumping off, and as they do, taking even shots. Able to identify Donnie, and Donnie says, thank you. Actually, though, looks back and challenge Leo, and that does not pay off. Leo finds the kill. Astra take another round.
We had Kilo 2 then.
That's 5 unanswered points. Loyal Dogs now go on the defense and get a chance to get on the board here. Put up a solid spread around OBJ and prevent the Astra incursion on a map that they chose, that they're ideally more comfortable on. I think if you look at the stats, though, Loyal Dogs and Astra have both played this map quite a bit. Oh, actually, wow. Astra have not played it at all. 1 time they've played this map this entire season. That's impressive. Compared to, I think, the 12? No, 7 of Loyal Dogs. And so they're going to right the wrongs here. It's going to be right now. put up a solid defensive hold, like I said, and get one on the board, switch objectives, and start getting that pace into your favor. Take control of the game, as they say. By they, I mean me, because I'm the one saying it. Back to it we go, though. Astra certainly playing well. If they continue this, it may be tough for Loyal Dogs to weather the Astra offense, but again, it's going to be a big round here as their map pick. And I wonder if that was a shot I just heard from Marsoc, because if it was, it's giving away the spawn. But I don't think it was.
You can tell if we're doing it or not.
It might have been an accidental shot from Tea Party.
There's so many other methods, Leo, it doesn't. I think. But who cares? Right, have fun. They're in the
You
hole.
want me to go first? Oh, I'm in the hole.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're in the hole, yeah. Bye-bye.
I'd have loved to know that I was doing this to have night.
Ooh, Hakain catches the first one up on the north. We're watching the rotation come in from the center there. Ooh, another kill from Donnie. The standard 1-2 setup in the north working wonders. You put one on the corner, and then another to back them up. Uh-oh, that made... Wow, that was close. Moth able to find the refrag at the least onto Hakain. But if this rotation continues, or if they push up on this cross and are not ready for Gaokao, it could be bad news. Gaokao also seems to be dialed in on another up through the middle as Tea Party gets scooped up. And then goes right to the backside. Can't quite connect onto Moth and runs out of ammo. Thankfully, Donnie's there to rotate. Astra get completely shut down on their rollout. And it's all up to Leo, who is alone in a 1v4 right now.
8657367
Still memorizing the code. Maybe they'll try and stealth their way up to objective. Either way, you don't want to be caught out at objective and not know the code, so always good to try and memorize it. Yeah, you can see it, still trying to memorize it. So when it comes to this is, you know, it does separate a quick cap from a slow cap. If you take the extra time to really try and memorize the code, even though, I mean, what are the odds that they get through 4 to get up to the objective to cap? You know, it's if it does happen, they can punch that code in fast. Nobody actually watching the south here, so Gaokao is going to be unaware of the cross. Oh, but not anymore. Shots come in. Leo has to drop down, and now Gaokao has an angle from that top 2-story down, and I don't think Leo sees that. Those shots just barely miss the head of Leo. Able to get a heal, stand up, and really nice reaction there to catch Gaokao up top. The flank coming in from Donnie gets shut down too, and it's a double. Still memorizing the code. Now a bit more viable to do as it's a 1v2. Taking control of Hospital here. And a powerful spot to take control of. Can work up onto that second floor. Have a great line down into objective space. They are talking to themselves though, and that is audio that could be heard at some point Ultimately, though, Oxers and Jolk know that there should be there is one over here. Don't know if they have an accurate count on kills and that they know it's only one and can focus their attention onto the south because Oxers is checking other angles. And Leo is going to be able to work up here. Oxers speaks up and Leo crouches down just in time. Flash comes over, doesn't catch Oxers out. Jolk still here. Gonna peek, catches one, can't get the second. And almost clutches it as Leo does end up trading. The kill comes in first for Loyal Dogs. Wow. The 1v4. Leo on fire here. 6-1 on round 2. Map 2. Impressive stuff. Still, though, Loyal Dogs do hold down and are on the board. Able to shut down the 5-0 momentum. That Astra we're mounting up very close to being 6, and I think that would have been the nail in the coffin. I think if that round had gone the way of Astra and 2-0 right now, I just don't know if Loyal Dogs would have been able to come back from that. Either way, they did, and it's tied 1-1. They now go on the attack. We change objective spaces, and an objective that is, I don't know, I would say relatively tough to capture. But at the same time, can be kind of tough to properly defend. It does require some, what I would consider to be risky defensive positions where you really have to get away from the objective in order to properly defend it. And while you do have great lines onto the objective, if at any point there's a gap in coverage or you lose sight of something or there's a little corner that, it's a cap and you're not able to react. And so the balance of defending this objective is tough. One defensive style I liked was a very aggressive push out where they essentially put the wall of the defense in front of the objective, which isn't something you typically see. Oftentimes you see like an encirclement around the objective, but I feel like that's a pretty decent strat for this objective in particular on defense. We'll have to see what Astra do. They've certainly put out some good rounds so far, and so I'm sure they're with an idea in mind for their defense here. The party works up to the corner. Hakine taking control of north, and they're not going to invest in over-aggression on Astra's end. Leo's not going to continue to push. And Donnie just waiting up. We're in the middle here, and there's a firefight over in the north between Leo and Hakine. Leo backs off temporarily, but seems to be going to revisit the corner. This stage, Hakine's worked up to the tank, though. A little bit different angle for them, and a bit more cover.
Onward is a fucking fightist game. Oh my god. Bolt T, one's going south warehouse. Oh. Bolt T, one's going south warehouse.
Leo does get Hakine.
No, just south hospital or something.
And Tea Party misses Gauko, who does now get up into the two-story. And the firefight there unfolds. Gauko does not connect. Continues the challenge, and down they go.
He's dead.
Try to get a nade, it seemed, to them.
Sure.
While that happens, Donnie and Oxers are working their way up. Leo pushing up on a flank. Oxers hears this and checks. Down goes Leo. Nice shutdown there. 3v4 now, as Loyal Dogs start to battle back. And I think Donnie may have seen Tea Party clip through that corner there.
Hay uno en el edificio que está Después del hospital.
And on those comms, Donnie gets themselves a couple of flash grenades, but those comms give Jolk the info they need. Tea Party goes down, throwing that utility, and
One going to towards motel.
oh, we're into a bit of a split firefight here. Special Ops battling the likes of Oxers over in the north. They're going to work up into the second floor and try and defend with a little bit of a height advantage. Oxers still rotating here, and this is the fight, the peek out, and the trade. Both go down. Leaves Astra with 2, and Loyal Dogs with 1. As Logan catches Donnie, trying to work up through the center off of some smokes. Jolk, the last one left alive, brought in for this round. Let's see if they can clutch it up. This map, I should say. Oh.
Oh, tío, ¿dónde estás?
¿Sabes dónde está motel?
Apologies for any mic echo there if you're hearing audio in my mic. That's my fault. Should be fixed. Jolk is going to rotate. And this is a safe rotation. Oxers traded and is resable. And so Jolk's going to get all the way over here, pick up Oxers, turn it into a 2v2. And from there, how do they work up to the objective is the question. Looks like, yeah, they are going to try and push in from this north side. It is, I think, the right path to be making. They can push and get into the back of the objective uncontested. Moth is not watching this backside, and then Cody is the only one in the objective building. So, you know, as they push up here and get rid of Cody, then utility can come out, or they can even cap before Moth can get up and over to the objective side. Bit risky. And it is the right play to be making. We'll just have to see if Loyal Dogs go for it. Smokes come in. And yeah, they're going to push in from the back. Cody Logan going to have the suppressive fire and the audio blocked, and they trade. It leaves Jolk alive and alone. Moth suppressing over to objective, and Jolk trying to get the code out. I think they have to be outside the edge, but maybe they can cap here. If they can, they can't. Time runs out. I had not been paying attention to it, and neither had Loyal Dogs. Astra win their defensive round off of time. Wow. Take a look at your overall score line here. Suburbia 4-0 to Astra, an unfortunate bug and a cap. That's Astra a 4-0 W, and now they have a 2-1 lead on Loyal Dogs map pick, but just barely. That was nearly a 3-1 lead in favor of Loyal Dogs. They just couldn't get there in time. That res definitely burnt down the clock, and they needed a 4-second cap, and Jolk didn't have the cap fingers loosened up just yet. So and looking at the KDs here, kill to death ratios, 7 and 2 for Leo. Definitely standing out here on quarantine. And otherwise, Oxers 4 and 3, finding themselves a few kills. We're certainly into an exciting bit of map number 2 here. The back and forth underway. Little Dogs seem to be coming alive off of these rounds on quarantine. We stay on the same objective but swap sides now, and Loyal Dogs go on the defense. So we get to see how Astra assault, and if they themselves can go for another cap to lock in the entire series. Certainly a risky point here now for Loyal Dogs, as that's the last thing they want to have happen. So we'll have to see what their setup does look like, and it seems to be a relatively aggressive one. We're going to go on board Hakain, who's going to be pushing up very early to this corner here. Could catch out Tea Party, Special Ops, a couple of open attackers here working their way up, but because Hakain's crouched, they don't see this movement. Tea Party continues to push up, and they dodge by spinning the cord out from their feet. They didn't even mean to do that, but they 360 dodged the bullets there. Hakain goes down. Jolt now in a firefight and in a bad spot as Donnie gets rid of Special Ops just on the other side of Tea Party. That's a big pickup that prevents Tea Party from continuing to suppress Julk. There's the kill, though. On the backside, Logan catches Donnie. And Astra are just like that into a 4v2. Smoke's coming in. Astra certainly looking for the cap as they get rid of Gaukau up top.
Dead.
Leaves only one alive on objective, Oxers. And they are calling for cap. They have an accurate kill count. Smokes are coming in. Hakain gets confirmed there. And that's a pretty good smoke that Moth can work up into. Tablet comes out. Oxers not checking the tight corner here. Ultimately, Moth has to push that corner, though, and so they are holding the end-all, be-all angle as they shut down 2, trying to work their way up. Just like that, Astra find themselves into a 1v1, and Cody just decides to take the point. Finds the kill, and almost a clutch secure there from Oxers. Nearly the 1v4, or 1v3, but not quite enough. Astra just barely come out on top. 3-1 on their Marsoc round. And we change objectives. Loyal Dogs go on to the attack into the downed plane OBJ, which I do think is easier to cap than the last objective. So there's ever going to be a moment for Loyal Dogs to get up to, you know, the corner of the downed plane and cap to get that 2 points, it would be now. Takes, you know, a lot of effort, and you have to really pick out a lot of different standard defensive positions, so it's no easy task. Sometimes it is. Sometimes defenses leave this spot open, and they actually will invest one defender into defending this corner from the inside. So you put one person right here, and they actually can check through the crack if anybody is in this corner. And you also are here defending the objective from anybody capping. So it's not a bad spot. The only real trouble is that if you're there, you can cap from here. So if you do see a tablet poke itself out around the corner there, you got to take your shots. But either way, this spot here is the way to defend from the cap on the corner. At least one of the better ways I've seen. And sometimes teams just leave it open. Have to see as we get into it. Round number 5.
Zone kick-ups on them.
West spawns.
Astra, though, playing this one well so far. An overall scoreline of 7-1.
I said, where are the spawns? Good answer. Good answer.
It doesn't look like they're going to be able to identify anybody out the gate. Unless Moth saw them cross the street. I don't know if they were set up in time to catch the cross, but they are looking over onto that side, so I'm assuming they saw the duo cross there. Two more are going to be able to get all the way over into the south. And so it's the full split from Loyal Dogs here. Goes uncontested. Dolk and Gauko able to work their ways up onto the south. Nobody going to be here to deny this push-up either. And it's not the most important spot to cover. We're going to pop over to Leo, who tries to take out Donnie, but can't quite find those shots. Takes bullets themselves and drops back. The press of fire from Moth comes out. That doesn't find Donnie either, and Donnie catching a little bit of heat.
Y uno en la ala rota abajo.
Information gained, though, and while that's happening, the south rotation continues to work their way up. Like I was saying, you don't need to hold this far south, because eventually the team has to cross the south street and push up. So it'll come down to how this rotation from Tea Party gets detected or not. They seem to be unaware of a potential threat here in the south, and it costs them their life. Gauko finds one gifted to them down in the south there. Donnie gets rid of Moth, who is covering really up through the center. Leo is there in the two-story, but they don't have a great line. This is not a strong defense around objective, and Loyal Dogs have 5 alive right now.
There's one white car.
Leo taking shots there up into the north. Unsure if they're aware
White
of
car, I'm completely pinned down. Fuck this.
the situation they are in right now in the 3v5. Seemingly aware of the threat in the south, though. They are checking up into that two-story, but that actually is not where they are. They've managed to already work their way up and are waiting for Leo to try and peek this corner and check the south. Both Jolk and Gauko have a pretty good idea that one's over there. As Gauko rotates, the rest of the team is pushing into objective. Donnie's here. Hakine's on top. Oxers is on to the back, and Cody is in that tucked-in position to defend. Hakine catches Leo out. Jolk doesn't team kill. Special Ops goes down to shots in the back. Cody Logan is alone in a 1v5. Question of course is, how do they play this out? Does Loyal Dogs look for the cap? That smoke denies Logan vision, and off of that smoke, they wisely push out to look for kills. Hakine's on top, trying to punch in the code. They see Cody, and they take the shots.
No llega, tío, desde arriba.
Don't know if they had an accurate kill count there because they went back to the tablet to punch in the code, but that's the round. And Loyal Dogs do take a Marsoc W. Coming alive with a couple of kills. They're 7-4 for Oxers, 4-4 for both Gauko and Hakine. They're not out of the woods just yet. They'll have a few more rounds ahead of them. They now go on the defense on that same objective. So with how Astra have been playing on their offensive rounds, I really just feel like playing a very tight defense here could work better than anything else. Just really staying tucked in and forcing Astra to come all the way to the objective. There has been a lot of early picks here and there that have, I think, cost Loyal Dogs rounds against Astra, and doesn't need to necessarily be that way. At the same time, if Astra do stay coordinated and push in onto the objective together, it can, be a challenge to properly hold. So you have to weigh your odds here. What do you think is going to be the better defensive strat? And just a little look into the mind games that go on, I'm sure, within these players' heads as they decide all of these different things. And if we do go to a map 3 decider, it will be into the hands of Astra. We still play out that map 3 regardless, so there is still at least another map of Onward action left this afternoon. But Astra will have that map pick, and I imagine it'll be it'll be back to close quarters. Back into the action we go, though. We're still here on map 2. Like I said, it's not done yet. Loyal Dogs now on the defense for round number 6.
O eso, o pones la mano aquí abajo.
Al sitio.
Loyal Dogs setting up, looking for some early picks up on the north. This is a little risky if you don't have solid control of south. You are essentially exposed there. Gao doesn't necessarily have a great coverage of the south. It's pretty late, but I think it's enough to where it will deny their teammate from getting shot in the back there. That coverage is good. When they look through the gap in the wall, they could have caught the cross there between both Special Ops and Tea Party, and they hold the late angle and miss Special Ops on the cross. Moth gets rid of
Got him.
Donnie, rotating
got him,
around the
Teddy.
north. Gao finds Tea Party, can't connect with Special Ops. Special
Okay,
Ops
got him.
will be able to get this
Kill him.
res, and Loyal Dogs are down
Kill
to
him,
3. Astra looking good on their assault. Their Marsoc rounds have been played well, and they are in sync on the push
I got the
as
last guy
everybody
north.
continues to charge in. Jolk and Oxer is left to be the only two defending objective space. Utilizing the darkness of these walls to really kind of blend in. Otherwise, this is looking like a cap attempt from Astra. Tea Party tablet out on the corner there, but the push comes in and everybody finds their kills, which does net Astra still the series and the W on map number 2, but only 1 point. 4-2 at the end of quarantine here. Right away, we go to map 3 for Subway. And we'll see how the close quarters treats Loyal Dogs here. Astra starting on offense. Loyal Dogs on defense, as it is Astra's map pick. And a pretty fast series so far. Obviously, Suburbia was done in a flash, but still, these rounds not taking the full time, at least not a lot of them. We did have that one round won by time. It did come down to a 30-second round. So we have had long rounds, but for the most part, it feels the pacing has been pretty quick. With that in mind, I imagine Subway is going to be a bit of a blitz, much like Suburbia was. I don't anticipate, at the very least, Astra to take their time on their Marsoc advances. That means that for a north objective, for example, I anticipate Astra to really come in heavy on that north side. And if they don't go there, it'll be popping out from the basement in the south. A variety of options, really, but it's going to be an aggressive commitment to those options that I anticipate to see from Astra. So we'll have to see how Loyal Dogs try and battle back the Astra offense, because it has been consistent, I think, in its timing and their synchronization on pushing. And it feels to me like that can be used against them to some extent if you tighten the defense up a little bit. and don't necessarily extend too far. I say that, and you know, didn't work out well when they had 2 on objective there for Loyal Dogs, and they waited for the offense to push into them. But still, shaking things up can help. And I wonder if Loyal Dogs are doing that as we're waiting for a 5th to reconnect here over onto the Loyal Dog side, which would be Gary. Or Jolks on a reset. But we are waiting for that 5th to connect, and then we will get into map number 5. Or, well, where am I? Map number 3. I'm already thinking about preseason and best of 5. Postseason. Where am I? While we're here and waiting, I do want to shout out our sponsors. We talked about them contributing into the prize pool, which I think is now over $7,000 in cash and hardware. Those sponsors are ProTube VR. They offer fantastic stocks for your controllers to stabilize your aim in-game. They help put the controllers in a variety of different options, between magnetic cuffs to normal cuffs to a haptic feedback stock version. They have all kinds of really cool ways to help both enhance the immersion and stabilize your aim in-game. I recommend you check out ProTube VR. HyperX coming in with the fantastic HyperX Quadcast S and the wireless Cloud 2 headset. They also contribute into the prize pool with Bluetooth earphones for you Quest users, so you can connect the Bluetooth to the Quest. And I highly recommend you check out the HyperX product line, all the way down to keyboards and mouse. They have a great... I've used the HyperX keyboard now for well over a good 1.5 years, and I've had no issues. Also, VRML contributing into that prize pool. We do appreciate. We always want to continue to see VR esports grow, and VRML will continue to help in that way by contributing into the prize pool. Also, VR cover, greatly enhancing the comfort of any VR headset. I do recommend you go pick yourself up a VR cover. They are, cushions for any VR device. This is my VR cover cushion, and it is fantastic. Again, a must pick up, must buy for any of your VR headsets. That's that. Still waiting on that 5th. Although Gary connected, so while they connected, they also lost another. I wonder if Jolk will be coming back. They'll sub someone else out for Gary. I'm not sure yet. We're just waiting. At this stage, though, the map 3, the series is already decided, and so it makes sense to try and work in your subs and get them practice time. So that in the case you need them for maybe the Challenger Cup, for example, you have them ready and sort of prepared because they've recently played competitive games with the team. So, roster management going on here for Loyal Dogs. I think this is their last time out, though. And, well, then we'll be into map 3. Also, again, a shout out to you fine folk tuning in here this afternoon. Who do I see in here? Marino, Beaupere, SFR, myself. Shout out to me. Spirit Hobo, Lazard Varg, Natty Rid 2, Kabep Spees, Oscar Alvarez, and anyone else I've missed. Identity Crisis popping in. Grenade Magnet as well. And yeah, I do appreciate you all stopping in and hanging out here this afternoon for what has been a pretty good performance by Astra, plain and simple. They have just been playing very well as a team. Their attacks have been very coordinated. And it's been hard for Loyal Dogs to prevent the onslaught, as the overall scoreline is 8-2. And we go into Astra's map pick for map number 3, round 1.
They're not stingy ninjas.
I'm just saying, why are they doing that every single time?
Oh, can we chill out?
It's curious, but okay. It's curious. You are complaining.
Here comes the aggressive push from the north.
Always get the strike spot. If I get fragged, oh my god, I'm an idiot.
Leo flashes themselves. That flash goes up and over and catches Donnie. C4 detonated too early. And Leo flies the corner to catch Donnie on a rotation.
Killer one north. Do your shit, boys.
Smokes are out, suppressive fire's coming in, and it catches one. Gary dies in the corner. Nobody has defensive objective. Jolk now has to peek and check. Hakai comes crashing back. Special Ops goes down in the retake, and Jolk goes down. Moth Valley not putting the pressure on, and Hakai is going to be here next. The last defender on the corner. The cap not going to be an option, and frankly, they might not be able to go for it. Leo just takes the point. Only 2 left alive for Astra at the end of 1:15 for round 1. That's them a point in the lead. And yeah, exactly what I expected out of the Astra offense. And, you know, of course, I have a very different perspective than the Loyal Dogs do. I have the ability to watch top down and really analyze these plays. But I think it's important for teams to be able to react to how some squads are playing. And so, you know, you look at Astra and you look at their attack strategy, it's been pretty consistent on the pacing. And that's something that, as a player on defense, you have to be able to stop and recognize and go, look, this team is really kind of overwhelming us with their aggression. So let's either predict and counter or, you know, take a pause. And I feel like Loyal Dogs actually played that one well. Really, truly. They had the right idea. They set up in a standard meta defensive setup. The trouble is their C4 that they threw didn't work, and they didn't have a second C4. Oftentimes, 2 C4s on this objective really pays off. Still, though, I liked how they defended it, and they crashed back to objective to nearly retake. I mean, only 2 left alive on Astra at the end of that round. Anyway, we go back into it for round number 2. Here are Loyal Dogs getting their hand at attacking.
Apunten ahí a la esquina del transformador por si
A
acaso.
little bit of a different spread here, but still aggression to come in from the north. Special Ops is ready. That smoke goes too far up and over. Not going to be a deterrent for Special Ops. That flash may have blinded them. It did. A great flash over the top. Gets rid of Special Ops. The C4 that they threw does not get deployed. And Gauco sees it and shoots it plenty of times.
Muerta la C4.
Donnie asking what they're shooting at, and the C4 right in front of their eyeballs. They grab the knife.
La frag, la frag, la frag, la frag.
Defuse it. Gauco handing Donnie a nade. Donnie's going to try and thread this one down the stairs. That's a good toss. That's a great toss that'll diffuse any C4 on the wall here or on the ceiling. And so this north side is open. In the meantime, Makayan and Jolk have worked their way up from the basement and are doing a little bit of a distraction up from that stairs. Tea Party's alone to defend this objective. Loyal Dogs could cap here. If there's no shots that come in, I think that smoke's far enough.
Yeah, I'm pressed.
Tea Party calls out. They need help to The C4 that was placed doesn't get diffused by the nade. And Tea Party is able to get down there and confirm one, but just one. Leo's comes flying back. Gary tries to get utility out themselves. Ducks back in time. That nade catches Leo. A counter flash to Gary blinds them. A quick res keeps them in it. And suppressive fire onto the corner. A nade now, no, just another flash. But that's fine. Gary just holds the trigger onto the corner. Gets the res onto Gao Gao. Cody Logan's the only one left alive. And Joel has to go onto the backside. Logan flies to find two and tucks in. Heals themselves. Reloads. It's a 1v1. What is this round? The chaos of Subway certainly delivering here for map 3. We saw the double C4 there for Astra, and it quite literally saved them from a cap. Sometimes I do think I know what I'm talking about, you know? Oh, that's a good nade. Oh, it gets blocked. I liked the idea. Cooked to the corner. Joel clicks dry on their gun. They shot first onto Cody, technically. That click happened before they died, but wow. The point goes to Astra, and they defend what was a good onslaught from Loyal Dogs. 2-0 here now, and you know, the last two maps have been so close. Astra have been playing well, but Loyal Dogs have really stepped up their offense and defensive plays here. And I don't know if they got warmed up or sort of shook and loose after Suburbia. Obviously, I think they were also close in Suburbia. Well, they didn't even get an opportunity in Suburbia, you know, and so, you know, now we are seeing great battles from them. You know, you look at the KDs; they're almost even on both sides, but one team has 2 points, so pretty good stuff so far. And I do appreciate anybody that is stopping in from other channels. If maybe you're just getting off of Echo Arena or what have you, I do welcome you in. Trying to keep tabs on all these different, all the different action that's going on today. It is tough. The best ways to be informed is to be following the socials, though, as I am certainly getting updates and seeing clips for Echo, and you know, we're tweeting about the Onward game, and yeah, it's all good stuff. Back into it though. For map number 3, Astra on the attack.
Is this Siege Leo? I don't think it is. Actually, we should be able to one-tap people.
This catwalk approach can be risky.
Carly.
Defenses sometimes will set up here early to look for these kills and catch out a unsuspecting offensive push. Also, you can see or sometimes place
See, I shall now cook the blowy uppy
in
thingy.
these
So why
this
do you
time,
cook it then?
alleyways, and there's
because
a grenade
cool,
to
you know?
deter any C4 or diffuse it on the corners. The purpose of these party flashes and then swings wide, and just like that, the duo has control of the stairs. Trapped inside the map. Fresh perspective on things. Johnny finds one. Joel catches T, pushing up onto Gao's position. A nice bit of overwatch there. But they quickly go down. Special Ops flies up from the basement and finds 1 kill. Astra still have 3 as Cody's working in from the basement. Gary contesting over the top here and really could use help from Leo. Is that a blast grenade at their feet? I think it was, and they're fortunate that they get the kill before it detonates. Still, though, a 3v2. Make it a 2v2. As a team kill comes in. Oh no, a team kill from Galco. Under the chaos, they take one of their own around the objective, and now Leo giving away their position on that catwalk side. Logan still looking for anything in the basement.
Pretty much telling me I'm royally shouted. You know what I'm thinking.
And Cody's going to drop back and pop up out of the basement. Leo has an overwatch angle from the stairwell. Galco, meanwhile, hears all of these comms, and so he knows there's one there. Leo's actually going off to the catwalk. They're going to reconnect. I think back at spawn.
West side, sorry, west side.
Ah.
I think south. I have smoke. I think south. Dude, I don't know.
Oh, you got smoke. I can smoke and flash.
I mean, with that, we could push out basement and smoke it up and flash it. With 2 minutes.
I could flash and smoke over J, but then we'll be risk from overpass Darkroom shooting us down when we're coming out of tracks.
I mean, south.
You're co-captain, you tell me what to do.
I think we go basement, because why not? It's a meme.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's keep it quiet. I'll push it first. I'll put a flash in there, and then I'll bolt it out. Remember code.
Okay, you'll retrog, but you're not gonna die, so you know.
Wait, come here. Take this.
I like the hierarchy.
Oh, thank you.
You follow the co-captain, but I don't know if my co-captain says we're going to do something for the meme, if that's a good enough reason. Anyway, they're going into the basement. They have utility. You heard them talk about it. They're ready to go. See how they come out from the basement is my question. Standard way. Flash up and over. Come out the top. Make sure no one's here. Galco has an angle, but they're so fast on the corner that Galco doesn't take the shots.
Below 2 confirmed.
One's to overpass.
South overpass.
Cody identifies that, finds the shots onto Galco there.
Confirmed.
Akine now the only one on objective, and they know they're there. A great smoke to deny vision forces Akine onto a rotation here. Oh, but he catches one over the top of the smoke. They're looking for more, and now they've stuck themselves into the train tracks. They can't get out. They're in the smoke, and Cody doesn't see them. They go up for the cap. They swing around the pillar and get the gun up in time.
Whip Bozo again.
Akine tried their best through the smokes, but couldn't find the shots. What a turn and burn. That's that. Astra up 3-0 on their map pick on Subway. But again, just barely. Wow. Good maneuvers there. Coming in from really both squads. Nice rotation to turn it into a 1v1, but then that pillar play and geez. It's certainly a chaotic Subway, to say the least. And swap sides, stay on that objective. We'll see how Astra defend. But the meme ends up paying off, of all things, so. Nicely done. I'm not sure why the basement is a meme, but I want to be cool.
0477-939, sí.
No, el último no lo he grabado, tío. Voy a grabar esto.
Bueno, yo lo vi, yo lo tengo grabado.
Sí, pero,
Por eso lo digo, eso se ve.
pero no veis los humos,
Siendo
es
los,
lo malo.
pero siendo los últimos, sí, pero es que siendo los últimos dos hombres se ve desde la partida de ellos, ¿sabes?
I'm gonna be challenging Tea Party early here, but I don't know if they're gonna be ready for that. As Tea Party right here, just around the corner.
Cuidado, Jules, que está aquí.
I think a C4 could have been placed by Tea Party here. Them pushing up this far, but I'm not sure. Already shots coming in from the south. And Tea Party does go down. The kind flies the corner. Astra lose one early. Moth Valley identifies two pushing in from the south and sets up to deny the cross into the L. Trouble is that they could got over the top there. Alco is looking. Theo's clearing out basement. You're not going to be finding much. Actually, they won't find anything down there as Loyal Dogs are all up top, but as they pop up the stairs, they catch Jolk. Moth Valley spots Gary go into the L. Gaukau's pushing up onto their close corner.
No, there's a guy in the little cubby.
Now Jolk's body isn't actually there.
One down in cubby on south stairs.
Gary gets rid of one in the L. 9 could potentially res. Jolk, who I think's down actually at the top of the stairwell, technically. Oh no, but Moth. Maybe they were down at the bottom of the stairwell. That confirm comes in. Gaukau gets rid of Moth, though. They do fly that short corner they had worked up to. They are quickly shot back. Cody gets that kill, and Loyal Dogs down to 2. 3v2 scenario here as Leo continues to rotate around and look for more on the stairs. Where is... There they are. The 5th of Loyal Dogs is Donnie. Maybe eventually challenging Special Ops up the basement stairs. They're the last alive. As Gaukau... Oh no, that was just a confirm. The kind's still up here.
There's still one more south. He's either in the south basement or on the south stairs.
There's the peek up. Leo catches them. Donnie now working in from the basement. Might actually catch the toes of Leo, and they do. 1v2 now. Donnie mounting the comeback. Keeping Loyal Dogs in this the best they can with 2:40 left. We'll see if they can clutch in the 1v2. Logan and Special Ops not panicking, but certainly rotating around and looking for picks. Cody's actually staying pretty disciplined, though, and that is allowing, well, for this to happen. Logan finds one. Special Ops is there. Donnie almost finds the shots, but can't. And Astra lock in map 3, 4-0, taking the entire 3 maps of the series. The overall scoreline 12-2. A powerful win from them that will propel them up the regular season ladder. But ultimately, I don't think enough to get up into the top 8, top 7. So, still a good game, and curious to see where this team ends their second season in the league at, because they are certainly playing well here for just being created in season 11. Really nice plays from them, very coordinated stuff. I think if they can manage to keep that up, they will find success and continue to break up into the top 30, top 20, top 10 for at the very least future seasons. Anyway, that'll be it for us here at the desk. That's the final and last round of the day. A shout out again to our sponsors, ProTube VR, VR Cover, VRML, HyperX, We also have merch at VRWare and Arma. I really recommend you check out those merch links over on the website at vrml.com. Check out the Arma VRML merch. It is sick. There's some new stuff that just came out. Also, check out VRWare. We're working on new merch there, so please do pick that up and support VRML in that way as well. But with that, I'll be signing off. My name is Ben NightFiree with 2 E's. We may take you over to some Echo Arena if it's still live. Otherwise, I will see you next week with the final week of Season 12 of regular season for Onward. Until next time, stay classy.